Is the Huntress fun to play, and should you play her in Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt? And also, how do I rate early skills, the ones that you just get? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. No, I have not played her for too long, but the patch only came out. This is the first day of leveling, and I'm sharing early impressions for what they are worth. Some of you might feel like, you absolutely need to jump in and play her based on my suggestions, and some of you might say, nah, totally not for me, thank you Gyro for saving us the time. The Huntress is not easy to play. I mean, look, at the beginning everything is relatively easy to play, but before you get any half-decent gear, blues in every slot at least, at least some support gems, at least some of these upgrades of your initial skill level 1 to level 2, let's say, especially if you try to take on the bosses at your level. So for example, Devourer in Clearfell is level 3. If you try to hit him under those conditions at level 3, you're gonna potentially fail, and it's not going to be pleasant. I didn't enjoy it. I think it's hectic. I think you always have to fight for survival, you always have to roll in and out, and your skills early on don't feel like they're doing enough damage. The things change when you pick up a few more prominent skills other than just a spear stab and a spear throw. You pick up something like Whirling Slash. Whirling Slash is actually fantastic because the longer you hold it, the more of this whirlwind is around you. It blinds enemies, it hits them, it knocks back smaller enemies as well. If you stand in one spot, actually, in case you didn't realize this, I didn't straight away, if you stand in one spot, it continues whirling around you. Just don't go anywhere, don't take a step left and right, and it will continue whirling around you while you are, let's say, throwing your explosive spear, or while you're stabbing them with the spear. If you, however, do the Whirling Slash and move, it disappears. If you do a Whirling Slash and throw a Twister, it does create these twisters going everywhere. We'll talk about this next. And it's quite cool. It certainly has this oomph effect, visual effect, if you level up Twister a little bit. As you can see, I didn't bother because it's not my main skill. It actually is quite a lot of fun. It creates that effect of being powerful in the moment. It consumes Whirling Slash Whirlwind. So that shield, so to speak, not shield really, but that pushback and the blinding whirlwind around you disappears. Okay? Explosive Spear, we started talking about it, might as well continue. It's a detonator skill. You throw your spear, it blinks there for a few seconds, which feels like a long time, like 3 to 4 seconds. Nothing happens, and then it detonates, doing quite a lot of damage. Explosive Spear makes a difference. Explosive Spear definitely is wonderful, and I use it almost exclusively right now, as well as Whirling Slash. Whirling Slash is just too good not to use, if not offensively, then at least defensively. As soon as the enemies come to you, you kind of have to stop for a bit and do some damage, right? So you might as well have that whirlwind around you, blinding enemies, and while you are throwing your spear, let's say, or stabbing them while standing in that eye of the storm, and smaller enemies are pushed back, blinded, etc, etc. I'm yet to properly test the level 3 skills, such as Spear Field, Lightning Spear, Fangs of Frost, and Rake, but it's pretty obvious that these are AoE skills. I mean, Whirling Slash is AoE as well, but these are exclusively AoE skills.
Rake dashes to a target enemy and performs a wide sweep, inflicting bleeding on enemies hit. The further you dash, the more damage it deals. Bleeding enemies will take more damage if they are moving. Fangs of Frost stabs an enemy with an ice-tipped spear. Hitting an enemy after parrying them will cause an explosion of ice shards that are highly effective at freezing enemies. Lightning Spear splits into many projectiles on impact and has a high chance to shock enemies, making them take more damage. Spear Field rends the ground with spears. Enemies that walk over them will take damage and become maimed, slowing them down. Spear Field.
So out of these, based on this official explanation, I haven't tested it thoroughly yet. Where I'm planning to take this build is potentially either Rake or Lightning Spear. Fangs of Frost is powerful because it would be freezing the enemies, but it looks like it has to be cross-played with parry in order to take the biggest advantage of this and make sure that the enemies explode. I don't know if I want to make it even more so hectic, my gameplay. I want to keep it simple, and sounds like Lightning Spear is pretty straightforward and Rake is pretty straightforward, but tell me if I'm not seeing something and you do. The least interesting one is Spearfield, in my humble opinion, because it's kinda just seems a bit meh, even just from this short explanation. I look forward to this level, like once I'm level 14, that's where things became very interesting with Ice Strike Monk, because Ice Strike used to be at this level, and at level 14 I got it, and that is where things became really, really, really powerful. So Barrage is going to be interesting, Rapid Assault is going to be interesting for the stabs, and Storm Lance is going to be interesting. I will definitely keep playing Huntress, even though she's clearly not my kind of gameplay, a bit too hectic for me. I'll keep playing her at least until we can thoroughly test this next level down that is not open just yet. That's it. These are my early impressions of the Huntress. I think she's cool. I think she's interesting. I think she's definitely for people who don't mind very dynamic gameplay. Dash in, dash out, do a stab, throw a spear, like that kind of stuff. For me, just more how I play Path of Exile 1 and how I prefer to play Path of Exile 2. I will continue this journey just to learn a bit more about the Huntress and produce, hopefully, casual, more engaging content for you, especially if you don't want to do the hard work of exploring all this by yourself. I don't blame you, man. But at the same time, is she looking even like a long-term investment character for me? I don't think so. And not at this stage. This is not to discourage you. I'm not saying she's bad. I'm just saying it's kind of like you have your favorite dish and I have my favorite dish. It doesn't mean that what we eat is bad. It just means that you have your own preferences and I have mine. It's as simple as that. But this is kind of... I feel like I get a lot more done with a lot less stress, with a lot less hectic movement, with a lot less dash in and out, dash in and out. I feel like I get a lot more done with my summoner, personally. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. But as it's a game, I don't think there is anything right and wrong. The game is balanced and created for different people. So let's summarize. Good class. Definitely for those who probably preferred to play Monk before, which I enjoyed, but purely for Monk's OP Ice Strike skill rather than for me generally being lured towards hectic playstyles. Like, I'm not a fan of hectic playstyles, as I pretty clearly articulated to you in this video so far. But she's cool, she's cool. She has some promising designs. This Twister is cool, the Whirling Slash is cool. Really enjoy it, but not the easiest to play. If you're looking for an easy, quick reward kind of gameplay, I don't think that... I will say that I don't think that she's right for you. I don't think she's right for you. See what I mean? You keep shooting this explosive spear, and as you keep shooting, nothing explodes. Nothing explodes. You're just gonna be shooting there forever. Nothing explodes, but the power of this, presumably we have no way to quantify it. No way to quantify it. Presumably it adds up to that explosion, and then it, boom, it's just a bigger explosion. There you go, my friends. These are my first early impressions of the Huntress. I absolutely am going to push her a little bit higher. At the very least, I'm going to go through Act 1 before I like render my medium-term verdict and choose for myself if I want to play her or if I want to switch to, let's say, Warrior, finally Warrior, or back to my Witch, to my comfort zone of a Witch, just to get more materials, just to get through the leveling. So as far as the like cut your teeth into the league and make progress and earn and you know, get gear and stock up before you start leveling these alternate characters, alts, I don't think that Huntress should be a first character. I think that she would be much better if you have some gear for her. You can straight away like give her better spear, you can give her better stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a pretty long wrap-up of the video, but I had a lot to say, even though it's early on impressions. Hopefully it helps someone. If it helps you, first of all, stick around for more videos. Second of all, give this video a like, please, so that YouTube can show it to more people. Otherwise, the YouTube algorithm doesn't. That's how it works. Alright, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you again very, very soon about something else, Path of Exile 2 related. Goodbye for now.